Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Madhuri Goswami. Welcome to this lesson. Dear students, let's connect this lesson to the previous one. In that lesson, we started studying irregular verbs in English. At the end of the previous lesson, I asked you to frame sentences by using those verbs. I believe you must have done that home assignment. Dear students, I can assure you, once you start doing those home assignments which your teachers provide to you, you will enjoy learning. So please make it sure that you do your home assignments. Now let's carry on with the list of the irregular verbs that we have been studying. The next verb in the list is shrink, shrank, shrunk. The past form is shrank and the past participle form of this verb is shrunk. Its translation in Hindi is sikurna. Shut is the next word and we have the past form of this verb as again the same spelling and the same pronunciation, that is shut. And same is the case with the past participle form of this verb and that is also same spelled and pronounced shut. For example, shut the door. As soon as his friend entered the room, he shut the door. The doors will be shut at 7 p.m. So in these examples, we have seen the uses of all these three verb forms and now I think it's quite clear how they are used in sentences. The next word is sing. This verb has its past form as sang and the past participle form as sung. It's a very common verb, so I think you know the meaning of this. That's translated in Hindi as Geet Gana. For example, she sang a beautiful and melodious song. She sings melodiously. I have sung this song on the annual day of our college. So these examples make quite clear the uses of these three different verb forms. The next word in the list is sink and its past form is sank and its past participle is sunk. The Hindi translation of this word is dubna and it's used especially when we are talking of sinking something in liquid. Then we use this verb sink and its past form sank and its past participle form is sunk. The next common verb is sit, sat, sat. Do you remember I talked about this second form of this verb when we talked about the verb set. So mind the pronunciation. Please pay your attention that these two words are spelled differently and have different pronunciation. That was S-E-T, set. And now this verb, second form of this verb is sat, S-A-T. And the same is the case with the past participle form of this verb. That's also sat. Let's have some example of these various verb forms. I sit on this chair. She sat on that chair. When I entered the room, he had already sat on the chair. The next word in the list is sleep, slept, slept. And it's very common verb. I think you all know the meaning of this verb and its forms also. Then slide, slid, slid. And it means to get slip. Its Hindi translation is generally said to be fisalna ya dhalakna. This word slide is also used as a noun, but here in this case we are talking about this word as a verb. The second form of this verb is slid and the past participle or the third form is the same as the second one, slid. The next verb is smell and its past form is smelt and its past participle form is smelt. Dear students, when I say past form, that means its second form and its past simple form. In short, I'm using the term past form in place of past simple form. So please don't get confused about it. The next word in the list is sow, sowed, sown. Its meaning is plant a seed, That means in Hindi, Bij Buna. But this verb is different from the verb which I have already seen, that was SAW. The pronunciation is almost same, but meaning and spellings are different. So don't get confused about these two verbs. Its past simple form is sawed and its past participle form is sown and sawed both. Here comes again a very common word, that is speak. Second form of this verb is spoke, and the third form or the past participle form is spoken. The next verb of this list is spell. The past participle form and the second form of this verb are the same, spelt or spelled. Usually we prefer spelt to spelled. Spell it out or spell a word. This is the example of this verb in a sentence. Well, let me spell this word spell. S-P-E-L-L. I hope you have got the meaning of this word spell through these examples. The next verb is spend, and its past simple form is spent. And the same is the case with past participle form. The same spelling, same pronunciation, spent. Spend, spent, spent. Translation of this word in Hindi is kharch karna. The next word in the list is spill. The Hindi translation of this word is गिरना या फैलना, और इसका यूज़ स्पेशली किसी लिक्विड के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में किया जाता है. जब कोई लिक्विड फैल गया या गिर गया, that action is called spill. The past simple form of this verb is spilt and the past participle form is spilt or spilled. The next word is spit, spat, spat. I think you know the meaning of this verb, and if you don't know, then it's eject saliva forcibly from one's mouth. The next word is quite interesting because it's also a common verb, and just notice that its first form is the same as the second and the past participle form. The base form is spread, spread, spread. The same pronunciation, the same spelling for all these three forms: base form, the past simple and the past participle. Have you ever noticed about this earlier? Somewhere I have read or somewhere I listened that people using this second form of this verb as spreaded. So what do you think? Is it correct or incorrect? Well, spread has a few different meanings, but here in this case we will use it as a verb that means to open out over a large area. And its second form or the past simple form is spread, and same is the case with the past participle of this verb. It's also spread. Then why do people use spreaded? You know, spreaded is an incorrect conjugation of spread based on an overgeneralization of regular verb conjugation rules to the irregular spread. It's not considered a standard use. So please keep it in your mind that the correct and standard conjugation of this verb spread is spread as the second form of the verb as well as the past participle of the verb. Dear students, though it seems quite difficult in the beginning to remember all these irregular verb forms in English, but gradually when you will revise them, when you will learn them by heart, when you will use them in sentences, and when you will do practice, these verbs would be on your tips. As I have discussed all these verbs in this lesson in detail, so I hope you must have understood them well. But still, if you have any kind of doubt or query or any question, please ask in the comment section. I would be happy to answer. At the same time, it's a great idea if you write down some sentences in your notebook using these irregular verbs that we have studied in this lesson. Bye for now. See you in the next lesson. That will be the concluding part of this series of lessons on irregular verbs in English. Thank you for joining. Happy learning.